Hey everyone, Midwife Galina here. Wanted to do a little blog post about and video about some topics that I feel that clients are kind of looking for when helping with their decision if they want to do a home birth, birth center, or a hospital birth. And really, like, what is the difference from a client's perspective versus our perspective, right? So we know what we provide to clients, but what is it that clients who have had maybe a hospital birth in the past or a C-section in the past, and now they had a home birth with a midwife, how can they compare? What is the difference? Why did they like it? What drew them to it in the first place? So I was able to get a nice testimony from a client who had 2 C-sections prior and is then had a vaginal birth at home with me, and she kind of answers those questions. So why did she look for a midwife? Why did she even think about doing a home birth? And then how was her experience when she did it compared to the other hospital births? So I hope you enjoy getting a little insight from a different perspective of why you might feel like a home birth is a good option for you. And if you are low risk and doing good, then there should be no reason why you can't get a midwife. So I hope you enjoy her testimony and her experience.
Hi mommies and everyone at P3. My name is Kortni, and I just wanted to do a little video on my experience with my home birth versus a hospital birth. My first 2 children were C-sections. My first pregnancy, I was induced at 39 weeks because the doctors believed he was going to be some ginormous baby, and my pelvis was too small and my body wouldn't be able to birth him. All of these things. So they convinced me to get induced, and I labored for 40 very long hours. And at that point, I just couldn't take the pain of the Pitocin anymore. I was strapped to a bed with a monitor on my belly, a monitor on my arm, monitor on my fingers, IVs. There was just wires and lines everywhere, and I felt very constricted. And then after 40 long hours, I just waved the white flag and I said, please do whatever you have to do to get me out of this pain. The epidural wasn't working, and I begged at that point for a C-section. I said, please just make the pain stop. So instantly they were all very excited. They knew that was the goal in the first place. In my opinion, it seemed like that was their goal. So sure enough, I ended up in a C-section. And then my second, I wanted to try a VBAC, and my OBGYN seemed very on board about it. But when the time came and I was approaching my due date, they just kept pushing more and more for a scheduled C-section. They told me it was going to be nothing like the first one, very easy, very simple, and they were right. It was very easy and very simple, but it was not rewarding. I felt like my purpose was stripped from me, my purpose of birthing my own baby, and the experience and the hormone releases, the happy hormones and everything. I was robbed of all of that. So I knew in my heart by my third, I was going to achieve a complete home birth, and do everything opposite of what I did with my first 2. So that's what I did. I found Galina, who has been amazing, heaven sent in my opinion. She believed in me. Everyone was telling me, you've had 2 C-sections, are you sure you want to do a home birth? It's very risky. My family did not seem to be on board with my decision, but my husband was, and Galena and my doula, Carrie, believed in me. They were all in my corner, and that's all I really needed. I went into labor on a Friday night. Yep. And then Saturday, I kind of had a feeling I was in labor, but I wasn't 100% sure because, again, this is my first time. So I went about my day. I tried to just stay busy, keep my mind off of it, and then things to kickstart around 6 p.m. Saturday night. They were very consistent. I had my little app that was tracking all my contractions, and then by Sunday morning, I believe, I had my doula come, and Galena came, and at that point things weren't really progressing. So a few hours later they said, take a nap, let your body relax. And around 2 p.m. on Sunday, my water broke, and I was so scared because my water has never broken before, and everyone told me it wasn't going to be like the Hollywood movies where it just gushes, it'll be like a slow trickle. No, mine gushed, and I didn't know what was happening. So I really started to panic, and then I think I made my husband panic at the same time, and my husband called the doula and Galena and said, can you guys please come back, because I don't know what I'm doing, and her water just broke. So they came back, and the contractions were intense. It was to the point where I was saying, I don't know if I can do this. And Galena and Carrie both said, you can do this. And we tried a few more tricks that Galena had up her sleeve, and sure enough, they worked. Within, I think, maybe like 30 minutes, I went from 2 centimeters dilated to 10 centimeters dilated, and my body was doing all the work for me. It was just pushing the baby right out. And my son was born at 1:21 Monday morning. So only a few hours later, my son was born, and I was able to eat throughout my labor. I was able to drink throughout my labor. I was able to move. I tried everything that my midwife and doula advised me to. I felt safe. I felt empowered, and I would do it again. I'm going to do it again. Not yet, though. We're going to wait about a year and go for round 4. So Galena, I hope you're ready. I most definitely will be using Galena again. She was very confident. She believed in me. She never once, panicked, or I could look at her face and know that I was going to be okay, and the baby is okay, and everything's okay. I never once had any doubt about her. I never felt, maybe I was in bad hands, or she knew exactly what to do, and when to do it. So that's been my experience with home birth and versus C-sections. I hope that my story has inspired some women. If anyone has any questions, just reach out. Have a good one.